Hello there and welcome back to my videos. In this video I want to speak about the PHP framework called Laravel, and I will speak about how we can working with the migration in the database and how we can work with that in the relationships. That's meaning we can have one to many, and we can have many to many. And I know there will be a more different way to do this, but I will show you in the basic way so you probably will understand how this is working on the hood, and then how you can work with that. I really hope you will stay here with me today, and I really hope you want to subscribe. If you don't know how to subscribe, please go to the right corner below in the video and click on the ding. Then you got to subscribe and get more videos from me in the future. Thank you so much, and let's starting the code. So the first thing we're gonna go to, it's into the models and post, and inside here we want to speak about one post can have many comments to the post. So what we're gonna do is say create this, call it comments, and what we're gonna do is return this has many, and has many is a function called itself. So this function comments can have many relations for the model you want to point to, and the model we want to point to is the comments. We have here the comments here, and that's basically what we need for now. And then we're going back for the comments, and in the comments we create a function more. In this way we want to say posts, and then we want to return this times we want to say one comments can only belongs to one post, but one post can have many comments. So that's why we're doing this way. So we say belongs to, and app models post, but then we don't have any data about the comments here. So what we're gonna do here is just saying the table, not here, sorry. We need to go in for the migration here down below for the comments, and we need to find it here. And we only have the ID and the timestamp, and what we gonna add now should be a string, and we call it a name because the comments need to have a name of who create the comments. And the next step will be the text, so we know what the comment is. And then we need an entry field called post ID. That's meaning the ID we want to refer to based on the comments on that post. So that's what we're gonna do now. And post ID, that's the reference field, and basically have here now it's the comments and the post field, and that's basically what we're gonna need now. So let's going back for the terminal and say docker compose. I need to go inside my Docker project here, and developer recording Laravel Docker Laravel here, yes, and docker compose php, and then we want to add the seeds too. Let's see about half the spelling error here. Everything is running perfectly. Let's going back for the SQL UI. In my case it's the Heidi SQL. Then we refresh, and then we will see we have the comments. Inside the comments we have now the name and the comments and the post ID, and we don't have anything else in the posts here. So that's working exactly what we gonna need now. So let's going to work with the seed. So we always add a comments to the post. So going back for the post table seeder, and down below here we want to create a comment. So what you're gonna do, it's inside the for loop we want to say comments comment count. That's how many comments you want to add, and I'll just say randomize it for 0 to 5, and then we just say comment count. If it's bigger than 0, just add, and then we need to say comments, oops, it's an empty array, and we can just put it inside here, that's fine. And then we make a for loop and say 0 should continue until it's lower than the count, and then plus plus. Then we go inside and say the comments should be, whoops, new app models comments, and what we're gonna put inside should be name, and we only need to say seed name, and then we +1. We just setting out and say what we having a name, and then we have a comment, and we just say test comment, and we go down and say here post comments, and we want to save many. Post save many. Something is wrong here. Yes, I need my comments here. And then we're good to go. Let's go back and make the seed data and see about we have some errors. So everything is working well. So now if I'm going back to the comments, we should have data inside here, and you can see we have data. I'll just replace the ORM a little bit, so we have a little bit different comments data. So let's go into that website, and you can just go in here to lipsum.com, and I have 5 feeds here, so I'll just take this one, and now I'm going back to my editor, and I'll just make a comments here and say let's say lipsum, and then we just go inside for the array, and in this case we should do it this way, and then we have a new one. Let's go back for the browser and copy this one, and then we have a new one, and that's the last line we have here. And I think the comments only should have here there, and then we will post one up and say 0 to 5 and see about how that's going. And of course we want to take this one and explode by spaces. And what we're gonna do now, we take the first first one, yes. And let's see how that's working. About I had spelling errors. Oh yeah, everything is working perfect again. And let's going to see what happened here. And now you can see the seeder name. It's different every time, and we have a lot of data. So now we have randomized our data, and we have put it inside to the seeder. Everything run as it should be, and now you are ready to basically take out the comments, so we know how it's have the first relation from one to many and many back to one. And that's what you're gonna work with now. So let's scrolling up here and take the post. That's what we're gonna work with, not the models. We need to go inside here to the controller, and we are inside here. So then we basically just going down to get all down here, and we can do this by the posters here. And I'll just create one here and say post here, and all the by, that's fine. And what we need here, say not where ID, sorry, I'm the wrong place. We need to going up here for the view, and here we say where, replace the find with the where, and then we say with comments, and then we take the first out, and then we basically have the same as before. So let's going for the browser and check what happening here, and going for the post, and you can see we have still something here, and we can go inside, and everything here it's working exactly as we expect from the previous video. So that's pretty good. So let's going back for the code editor, and now we need to find, not this one, we need to find the resources, and we're going to the view, and inside the view we will found the post inside here. And what we're gonna do now will be HR tag, and then we just say for each, and then we have the post. Because we used with, then we already know that it should be inside, so we need the key and the val. You can just say comment, so it's a little bit more nice, and then the end for each, and then we're going inside here. And the next thing we need is just say the media, and we need the margin bottom tree, and then we can just go inside and say the image should have a source, and what I'm basically only need is a place kitten.com 75.75, and we need a class for that, say margin right, and it should be tree, and then we need the dio tags again, media body, and inside this body we need the h5 tag where it's have the margin top 0, and then we basically just can go comment here, and we need the name, and then we need below here comments should be comment, and then should be enough for that. So let's test it up. Now you can see we have one comment here. If I'm going back and take this, it's have nothing. Take this next one, have nothing, and here we have 3 comments. So let's keep this one, so we have 3 up to see with. So the next step you want to learn in this video will be how you can work with the many-to-many. So in this case I'll create a category, the model with the migration, and then we want to work with how we can working together. So one post could have a lot of categories, and a lot of categories could have many posts. So that's many-to-many relations. That's what we're going to work with now. Let's going inside to the post overview again, and Then we need to go in for the terminal here, and I'll just cheat a little bit. Make model category with M, meaning we want to create it with the migration. When it's done, then we can go into the editor, and going up here, I'll just close all of that files here. We don't need that for now. We just need to go in for the migration here, and we have a new file called categories, and inside categories I only need to add a table here called string, whoops, and this should be name, and we only want expect about the category should have the category name with 100 characters. So that's what we're gonna do. Then we going back for the terminal and create this one. We want to make a migration now, because the next step we want to create posts to category table. So in this case we don't need a model, because we will handle that basically on the category model, and we need to handle it on the post model. So that's why we don't need a model for exactly this one. And then we have a migration here, and what we're gonna do now, it's say integer, not interface, integer and post ID, and I will just copy this and say categories ID, and that's basically what we need for now. And going back for the terminal here, and we want to make a seed now, category table seeder. That's what we're gonna do. So now it's creating succeeds, so we need to go in for the database here, and we can just say category table seeder, and we want to create the categories before we want to create the post, and that's because we want to bind up the categories before we basically append them to the category, else this will be a weird one. So we want to set a category and new models category. Inside that we need name. We just call this category 1, and we copy it 3 times, 2 and 3, and then we can just say category save, and that's it. Now we can just run the migration here and see about everything is run as it should be, so we know what we have today. It's basically working as we want. So refresh and see we have now the post to category. It should be empty because we don't have working with that yet, but the categories up here should have 3-1 if you have done it correct. And now we're basically just going back for the categories, and in the categories model here we can just say functions categories post, sorry, and inside the, I think I was spelling it right, yes I have, and we can just say return this belongs to many. And the first we're gonna do now is say app models posts, and then we need to bind it to post to category. That's the table. And then we need to say the category models binding bindings ID should be categories ID, and then we need to say you reference to the post ID here, and then we want say with timestamps, and that's it. Let's copy this one because we need that for the post inside here. We just rename that for categories, and the only different almost here should be this one, where you flip the category and the post ID in the other case, and then we need the category here. I just need to see about it's a category. It's yes, we don't get any errors here. Then we need to go down to the post table seeders, and back here we have a lot of data, so I will just put it inside here to that and say post attach category attach, and then 1 2 3, and again if everything runs smooth then we should having a binding, else we get an error. So let's see what's happening. We got an error, so it's basically just say we having a problem here. So I'll just see what's happening. I think that's because it's because I'm spelling that incorrect. I can see that attach. Let's try that again and see what's happening. And now we have a new error, and then I will fix that to see what's happening up. So keep on. Let's go back and categorize, and then we need to go in for the post because then it's an error here, so it's a spelling error. And then we just run one more time and see what's happening, and now it succeeds. Let's go back for the database here and see how we can connecting. Now we can see the post ID 2, it's equal to 1 2 3, and then we are good to go. So the next step we need to now we need to figure out how it's working. So a good way to do this, it's going for the post controller here, and we have the view, we have the post, and basically we don't need anything because we have post and find and get. So we only need to go in for the post here, the blade, and below edit below the small here, the card, and then we need to say, if I'm correct, of course, I could make mistakes, it's happening sometimes, and then post categories as a category. Whoops, not inside this one, and for each, and then we just say Spain budget dark. I don't know how it's going on right now, but I can just do this and say category name, and let's see how it's working in the browser and see about we have to do it right. And now we say the category is not the variable, so let's go back for the code and category, and now it should be the same. And now we can see we have the category 1 2 3 and everything have that done, so we are pretty happy to see what fixing. The first one, my first seed title, doesn't have anything, so that's okay. it's on the loop here, it's having something, so that's working as it should be. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you understand how the many-to-many relations and the one-to-many relations is working. And I really hope you want to subscribe to this channel. You can go in the right corner below, and then you just click on the thing, and then you will be my subscriber, and I'll be very happy. And don't forget to share this video with your friends, and if you have any comments, please make the comments below. Thank you so much, and hope to see you next time. Bye.